Hi everyone, it's David Mooney here from the Blue Moon podcast. Sorry for recording on the fly to give you this preview, but I totally forgot and I promised I'd do it, and I'm on a works night out, so I've just nipped round the corner. I'm outside, I'm under a light to try and get you as much brightness as I can, but yeah, here's what's going wrong with Manchester City at the moment. Basically the team is too easy to play through. They don't have any legs in midfield, and it's really starting to become a bit of a problem right now. The injury situation, I mean, Rodri is the obvious injury problem that City have got, but it's not solely down to him for the reason why City have fallen apart a bit this season. He's obviously a massive factor in stopping the counter-attacks and stopping teams playing through the middle, but you look at what else is there, and I mean, Guardiola said it this week himself. They probably didn't strengthen in the way that they needed to in the summer, and they didn't kind of plan for the deficiencies that the squad has this season. So, I mean, you look at players like Ilkay Gundogan, a cracking player in his day, looks a bit over the hill this season, and that's kind of where City are this season. Bernardo Silva, again, great player in his day, doesn't quite have the legs that he used to have. And what the kind of knock-on effect of everything has been that when you get the wrong side of City and you get the wrong side of the midfield, then they can't get back and they can't chase it back, and you're in on City's defence. Normally City would spend the game trying to control play and trying to pin the opposition back and keep possession, but they're also struggling to keep possession this season. They've got passes that are going astray, the ball isn't quite in front of the right player, and it bounces off somebody at the wrong point, that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden there's a turnover, and City don't quite have the possession that you would expect them to have in most normal seasons. And it gives the opposition the odd attack here and there more than they would have had previously. So you get that, I mean, City have never been very good at dealing with counter-attacks anyway, but the way they're playing at the minute kind of lends itself to more transitional games. And ultimately, you get a team that gives up a lot of high-value chances. So I would expect in this one, as much as Ipswich are, in a relegation fight this season, I think you'll have chances, and I think you have plenty of opportunities to cause City problems. And if you take them, then there will be problems for City in this game. We saw in the Brentford game this week that actually, in terms of an overall performance, City were better in transition. They actually played in transition a little bit more than they have done previously. And what it means is it leaves them quite vulnerable at the back, but at the same time they were slightly more dangerous than they have otherwise been this season. Haaland seems to be finding a little bit more form. I mean, okay, he didn't score against Brentford, but he had a couple of decent headed chances that he should probably have done better with. But he scored a couple of headers recently. Foden has quietly been coming back into form as well. He's been somebody who's been generally struggling this season. He had a really slow start with injury. He was ill at the start of the season as well, and he's started to get a little bit of a run of games together now. So he's back on the score sheet as well. And it feels like he's the bright spark of the last few weeks. He's been kind of gradually gathering a bit of momentum. On top of that, when it gets to the back four, I mean, again, they're struggling with injuries. I think Akanji and Ake are playing injured at the moment. I don't think they can move as well as they normally would be able to. I think Vardiol, I think he's a fantastic player, but his head is all over the place right now. He needs some time out of the team, but there's just nobody available. They're either injured or not there anymore. You look at Kyle Walker, who is leaving this January window. It seems. He's not had a good season. He's not been there and thereabouts for City. He's been at the scene of the crime for a lot of goals that City have conceded this season. There are, and on top of all of that, the players then that have been available have had to play, and fatigue has crept in. Now, obviously, the world's smallest violin for City, and like the idea that this is something that anybody should feel sorry for City about. No, I get it, that like nobody has that sympathy. It's just kind of the way this season's gone, and it means that at the weekend Ipswich will probably have chances. I dare say City will have chances as well, and it could actually be a really open game. That doesn't tend to suit City. City like it when the opposition drop deep and City can dominate the ball and pin them back. I've got a feeling that isn't really going to happen. So when it comes to a prediction, I expect Ipswich will try and let City have a lot of the ball. I think Ipswich will have more of the ball than a lot of you guys expect. And I could see you taking points. I'm going to go for a narrow City win. I think you'll make us work for it. And I think it'll probably be 2-1, but you know, we'll see. Best of luck.